What's going on, YouTube? I know it's been quite a long time, and I've had a lot of people asking, where are the YouTube videos? Why haven't you done a new full day of eating? I appreciate you guys that have been watching along my journey and everything I have posted, and I'm sorry for the big delays I have sometimes. Life just gets crazy. So, deep in the off season now, I was 293.6 this morning. Just checking the boxes, doing the same thing every day. It's Groundhog Day in the off season. So just been really busy. We actually just moved to this house. I'll give you guys a little house tour here in a bit. And I'll show you guys what I'm eating right now. I have been pushing up body weight for a while. I don't even remember what kind of weight I was. It was probably 2 months ago, the last time I checked in with you guys on YouTube. So I've been really getting bigger and stronger, pushing into off season. I'll give you guys some updates on my plans here in a bit. But you just saw my check-in with Chris. So 293.6. Been eating like over 900 grams of carbs every day, somewhere in the ballpark of like 6,100 calories. I don't know if that's going to change as of today because that's the heaviest I've been, I think, in a check-in with Chris. So I've been really hanging around 289 to 292, mostly lower 290s as of late. But I've been more consistently 293 for the past few days. So weight's climbing, and you guys will see the big meals I'm eating right now. None of them are under like 125 grams of carbs for 6 meals. So it's definitely a good bit of food. But I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing. I now have this awesome waffle maker. If you guys follow my Instagram, you would see the waffles I've been making. And I absolutely love them. They're actually way quicker and easier than the pancakes that you guys have seen on my page for a long time. Still love the pancakes. It just honestly, it's kind of a pain to cook them. They don't, I have to sit there and watch them and flip them. Whereas this, like as soon as it's done, this little green light pops on. I take them off, throw them on a plate. It's just so easy. So for those of you that haven't seen my pancake and waffle flavor gang recipes, I'm not going to show you everything, but this is probably my favorite. This and birthday cake. I love crackberry too. Really, I love all of them, but the strawberry banana, fabulously fruity, it's probably my favorite for pancakes overall. So what we got in here is 140 grams of bolognese, about 5 grams of baking powder, and then I do a quarter teaspoon of salt through this whole meal. So I have a little quarter teaspoon measure. I do a little more than half of that. So it's a little more than an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. But put all that in there. Then we're going to do 75 grams of banana, 350 grams of egg whites. I'm going to blend that up and then pour them in the waffle maker. And those are my waffles. Okay, so I blended this up and I just spray a little oil on the bottom of the waffle maker. I don't put it on the top because this isn't super thick. It's not like a thick waffle batter. So if you overfill this, it's gonna spill over outside of the waffle maker. So what I do is I just pour it in the bottom until it almost fills the little grate things or whatever you call it. So just like that. Yeah, so there's our waffles. Close it and they'll be done in no time. So super easy. I'll show you guys everything all together. I do 3 English muffins and 2 whole eggs as well. So I'm going to cook that, show you guys my breakfast. All right, so here we have breakfast, guys. Meal 1, and of course, some coffee from the espresso machine. I love our Breville espresso. And we've got 3 English muffins. 2 of these are regular egg sandwich English muffins. And you guys know, if you've watched my YouTube for any amount of time, I'm big about the Bay's English muffins. And of course, they didn't have those at the store this time. He's making a cameo appearance. This is Gilligan, for those of you guys that don't know. But yeah, so the store didn't have Bay's English muffins, so I'm a peasant and eating Thomas English muffins, which I'm not crazy about. I like the blueberry ones. This one's a blueberry, but the original ones just are not very good. And they say they're easy pull apart, and they're totally not. So, and then we've got our waffles here. See if Gilligan wants to eat them. They've got 20 grams of peanut butter on top. So this whole meal is over 1,400 calories. It's 79 grams of protein, 216 grams of carbs, and almost 24 grams of fat. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Being crazy. Anyway, so if you guys want a more detailed explanation of how I make these, I do have my reel on my Instagram. So I'm gonna eat this and I'll give you guys a house tour in just a bit. Okay guys, it's been kind of a lazy Saturday morning. I've had a crazy week, so I have not really done anything. Saturday is my day I set apart. Saturday and Sunday, I don't have any client check-ins anymore. Makes my weekdays a little bit crazier, but I needed the peace of mind of having some actual time to myself and with Brittany. So I've been kind of lazy after this crazy week, and we're about to get meal 2 in. Then I'll go for a walk. But I wanted to show you guys a little house tour. So this is our kitchen. We found this like older table on Facebook Marketplace. And Britt says it's antique, not older, if you didn't hear that. It's nice. I like it. It's just, to be honest, the only problem I have, any of you guys with bigger hamstrings, you know how this is. This angle of this chair props up, so it like crushes my hamstrings, because anything you sit on when you have bigger hamstrings, it like sits you up higher, and then your legs start to go numb and stuff. So figuring that out, but it was a steal for a table. And then this is the kitchen. Most important part of the kitchen. Gilligan's obsessed with outside all the time. We've got a backyard here. Let's see if you guys can even see our backyard. The lighting's kind of weird, but we finally have a backyard for our hooligan animals. Here's our living room, much bigger than our last living room. And Everybody Loves Raymond or King of Queens tends to always be on in our house. Then we got our bedroom where Ginger always is. You guys can see my nice little CPAP setup. And I will say this is an older house. We're just renting. We didn't buy. And all of these doorways are really tight, so I have to go in sideways everywhere. But the master bedroom's bathroom's kind of small, so I used the other bathroom to shower. So then this side of the house, we have our other 2 rooms. This is my office. As you can see, all he ever wants to do is be outside now. We let him outside a few times, and now he just dreams of being outside. It's all he ever wants to do. But I've got my office desk set up, my trophies and stuff, and then we're gonna put a treadmill here so that I can get steps in while I work. And then back here, we've got our guest bathroom, which is really the one I use for shower and stuff, bigger shower. And then our guest bedroom. So yeah, we're really enjoying the house. We enjoy the area. We're closer to Dallas now. We were in Fort Worth. We moved over this way to be closer to Destination Dallas for Gasp. Wanted to be involved more, and Brittany got a job there, so she has to be over on this side of town more often, so it's much easier for her now. It was a really hard trip going from Fort Worth to Dallas. It's just, especially with traffic, it could take so long. So much more convenient here now. We're enjoying it. Just trying to get settled. I haven't been in a house in a while. I've never rented a house myself. It's always been apartments unless I roomed with friends in the past. So really excited to finally have a home instead of an apartment. So gonna do the next meal 2. It's a little late for it. It's like 11:30, but this one's a lot of rice, but we're also gonna do some sourdough bread, so I'll show you that in just a second. Okay guys, meal 2. So did chicken, rice, avocado, zucchini, and some sourdough bread. So it's 78 grams of sourdough bread. What I do is I'll go ahead and cut a slice and I'll weigh it, and then I'll subtract those carbs from how much rice I'm eating. So normally this meal I'd be eating 475 grams of rice, but because I had that much sourdough bread, I subtract a little bit, and so it ends up being 78 grams of sourdough bread, 360 grams of rice, 175 grams of chicken, 33 grams of avocado, and then I did the Flavor Gang sweet and nutty sauce. This has become like me and Brittany's favorite lately. We've absolutely run through this bottle, which sucks. But macros for this meal, near 1,000 calories. It's 66 grams of protein, 135 grams of carbs, roughly, 11 grams of fat. So definitely a lot of carbs in each meal. It looks like I don't really have a meal. I think meal 6 is 100. Yeah, I guess I don't really have a. I guess I don't really have a meal that's under 120 grams of carbs. So, because my last meal is 420 grams of rice. So this meal is 135 grams of carbs from rice. So yeah, it's a lot of food for sure. We'll see if Chris backs me off. I checked in with him today. I have a feeling we'll be pulling back on food at some point. Feeling pretty heavy, but appetite's really high. I have absolutely no problem eating all this food. Also, guys, if you're having trouble eating your food, I've said this so many times, you got to make sure your food is prepared well and tastes good. Something you enjoy eating over and over, the same food, right? So I've got Cali Cook's chicken in here, and he's based out of Houston. He services Dallas Fort Worth area. There's a few gyms and nutrition shops he drops off at, but he drops mine at Destination Dallas. And I do chicken and sirloin every week. I was doing shrimp for a few weeks there. I should have done that for this meal or for this video. I have some in the freezer, but that's been a really good change up too for changing it up from chicken a little bit. But yeah, it tastes amazing. His sirloin is the best meal prep sirloin I've ever had. And if you guys are in the Houston or Dallas Fort Worth area, definitely check them out. Vacuum sealed bags, freshly made. Drop it off for you at whichever location you want to pick it up at. And then you don't have to worry about prepping your food. It also really helps me with traveling. So I'm traveling this upcoming week, Wednesday through Friday. All I have to do is grab a couple, I'll freeze them, the vacuum sealed bags, take a couple with me. I know I'm set for the few days that I'm gone. And then I bring it back with me. I never have to prep, never have to cook. It's always cooked just right for me. So if you guys have any questions about them, hit me up in a DM on Instagram. Use my code HUTCH for a discount on CaliCooksMeals.com. And like I said, if you find a way to enjoy your food better, and if time is the issue for you with meal prep, then obviously this is going to solve it too. It's always best to get, it's great to get pre-made meals, but a lot of my clients, I've talked with them about this. If you can get the bulk proteins and, you know, even bulk vegetables or whatever, if you don't want to cook anything, just cook your rice and then you can weigh out your own meals, but you don't have to cook anything. It's already pre-cut and everything for you. Super easy. So that's what I've been doing for the past several months. It's been an absolute game changer for me. Okay guys, so another meal here. This is my pre-workout meal. I just got an email from Chris, and what do you know? I predicted I would be having my food dropped. So he dropped me pretty significantly. My breakfast meal doesn't change. The pre and post workout meals don't change. It's the meals in between. So like the last meal y'all just saw, where normally it's 475 grams of rice, it's 320 grams of rice. So Chris must think I'm really fat. Not really, but you know, at this point, I know I've been with Chris for 5 years, and I can predict when he's gonna drop some food. So, you know, I kind of saw that one coming. But this meal, I change up a lot. Sometimes I do cream of rice. Generally, the meal calls for 140 grams of cream of rice, but I like to switch it up with other stuff. So it's usually 140 grams of cream of rice, 15 grams of carbs from fruit, 20 grams of peanut butter, and whey, 50 grams of whey, protein from whey. But I'm doing chicken instead, so I pull back on the fats. So I've got like 295 grams of jasmine rice here, 165 grams of chicken. It's Cali Cook's chicken, We got 20 grams of dates for my fruit. It's really low volume, easy to eat, easy to digest. 10 grams of peanut butter, and then I'm doing 2 rice cakes just to mix up the carbs. And then orange dragon sauce is really good on this meal. So 61 grams of protein, 134 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat. Then I'll do 45 grams of intra-workout carbs from highly branched cyclic dextrin. Post-workout will be the same as it normally is, but then meal 5 and meal 6 are going to be a lot lower than they usually would be. So significantly pulling back the carbs now. I believe that's like 320 grams of rice, I believe is about 90 grams of carbs. So usually on my last meal, I would be getting 120 grams of carbs. And on the meal prior to that, it's 135. So I'm pulling back like about 75 grams of carbs for the rest of the day. But on my full days, usually it's going to be like 110 grams less carbs. So I'm going to be at like 820 grams of carbs for the day usually on training days. So that's the diet update for now. I'm going to eat this pre-workout meal, show you guys a cool order I got from Gasp, and then we're off to the gym. Okay guys, so Gasp order here. I am really excited about this one because I want to show you guys the new heavy duty knee sleeves that Gasp just came out with. So of course, I always have to get new hats because I sweat through mine so much. There's a hat right there hanging with tons of sweat stains all over it. And I'll wash my hats, but sometimes it doesn't all wash out. You guys, if you followed me any period of time, you see how much I sweat. So of course, another OG Gasp hat and one of these Relentless American flag skull hats. That one's in gray. That one I have over there, it's got the white. This is one of the comfiest material shirts I've ever worn. This is the 3045 iron tee, and that's our oversized fit, but it's got a little softer material. So this is our division iron tee that I'm wearing. Same kind of sizing and fit, but this one's stretchier, softer. I really love training in this or just wearing it around the house. But then we've got the new knee sleeves. I gotta try these on. I'm really hoping that they fit me, but it's the new HD heavy duty knee sleeves. I got a 2X. I'm hoping they work. I'm gonna try them on. If not, I'll swap for the 3X. And then we've got this I've been wanting really bad, the 89 Terry iron tee. So this is an oversized t-shirt in like a black grayish color with a big 89 number on the back. Got kind of like a jersey look to it. I'll probably wear that to the gym today actually. And then we've got this shirt. This is a Harder to Kill t-shirt, regular size fit on the back. It's got the Harder to Kill design. And then I think I got a couple tanks. Yeah, somehow I bleached mine that I already had of this, just the black and gray Gasp Essential T-back. And then I haven't had this blue one. I'm probably gonna wear that one today for back training. And of course we got some stickers. I love this. This is all me, guys. Butterflies. I'll put that on my gallon of water. Perfect. All right, guys. See you at the gym. All right, guys. Made it to destination finally. Just warmed up my shoulders a little bit. Every time I come over here onto the turf and roll out and stuff, I go ahead and take my Uprising stuff for the day. Generally, lately, I've been doing one of these Ascend soft gels. That's the best bang for your buck of all the Uprising products. 25 milligrams per soft gel. I bite into it. If I wanted it to hit me slower, I would have taken it like hour and a half ago for a prolonged release. But you really don't taste it. I like try to taste it, I don't taste anything. So I just bite one open, because then that pill doesn't have to break open and it just goes ahead and hits my system. And then I've been doing one peach gummy, peach pump. I'm almost out. I've got more on the way. Been waiting on it. But that's my combo, 50 milligrams total. I don't suggest biting into the Descend ones. If you use those for your sleep, don't bite into it. Tastes nasty. It's totally different than this one's like a 70% isolate, but guys, it's an absolute game changer cheat code for training, for cardio, for focus during your workday, especially if you're just taking low doses more through the day. With your morning coffee, if you're needing to zone in on work, for your training to lock in, focus, it's like a nootropic. For sleep, Descend is incredible for sleep. It's the only thing that kept me asleep all night through prep when I was really struggling. And with the products, taking them pre-workout in prep, I would get to my cardio and get through my 30 minutes or whatever I was doing and thinking, gosh, I could double this easy. Where usually in prep, you're waiting for that to be over with. You know, you're like dreading cardio. I've never had that when I've used this. So it's a major cheat code, game changer. You guys can use my code now, code HUTCH at UPRISING's website. I still do have my link on my Instagram on my hot bio, but they're allowing discount codes now. So use my code. Let me know if you guys have questions on any of that. I'm gonna start with some wide grip pull downs. I'll just be showing you guys top sets today just to keep this video short and sweet. Ooh. 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 Oh. Hardest part about this machine is getting into it. My mobility sucks right now. Whew. if you guys are watching this thinking, wow, that guy sweats a lot, this is totally excessive, you're correct. And no, this isn't abnormal for me. This will happen on arm day. Granted, it is super humid in here. If I showed you the windows over there, it's cold, it's like chilly outside today for Texas, like low to mid 50s, rainy, wet, but the windows are completely fogged. You can't even see outside. It's super humid in here, but I sweat in here like I was sweating at Metroflex Arlington in the summer last year. I don't know why I'm sweating this much other than it's because I'm heavy. And I also have a genetic predisposition to sweating a lot. I have my whole life, it's genetic. Some people have mentioned something called hyperhidrosis. I imagine that's what this is. Doesn't help that I'm, 290 plus. And the more muscle and size I gain, the worse it gets. And it's really not that bad when I'm really lean and dry and prep. So just got to make it through the off season. But this summer it looks like, I guess I haven't told you guys, it doesn't look like I'm competing this year. The timeline just isn't right unless we make a ton of progress and say, you know what, screw it, we're going overseas and do something this fall. But it looks like I may just reset my schedule and hopefully take the next year to grow to be something nobody's come close to seeing from me on stage, and that would be good enough to be even competitive at the Olympia maybe. That's the idea here. So kind of disappointing for me. I wanted to compete this year. I didn't want to take the year off, but we've had some setbacks, a lot of travel, surgery, all kinds of stuff that pushed back the off season, and I'm just not going to make it for the pre-Olympia shows. I don't want to prep just to go do the Mexico City show and not go overseas. Us pro bodybuilders don't do this for free. If I go overseas, a lot of that is going to happen. Most of that comes out of my pocket, and then hopefully you get reimbursed with prize money, right? I believe I would be able to win a show overseas, but we're going to play that by ear. But if that doesn't happen, I'll be back for a bunch of shows, maybe 4 or 5 shows in the spring next year. So that's what it's looking like. But it looks like I'm gonna be really hot and sweaty this summer in Texas because I'll probably be pushing like 310 by that point. So you guys are in for a real treat. You get to see roly-poly Jordan all off season. Gonna try to keep it lean. Like I said, Chris already backed off my food a little bit today, but looks like I'm gonna be drenched in my own sweat every session for the next like 10 months or so, maybe more. So onto this extreme row, one of my favorites. Hey! Okay, back home for the gym. I got to be real brief because we are headed to get a treadmill. Brittany found one while I was training, which is awesome, but we got to drive like 30 minutes to pick it up. So I'm eating this as fast as possible and hopefully come back to the house before I go hypo because I don't have time to pack a meal. So got 50 grams of whey. I'll be announcing to you guys hopefully this week, which by the time this is edited, I'll probably already have announced it. I just signed with a supplement company, but we're going to do a big announcement, so I don't want to be ahead of them. But this whey ISO is awesome. Very excited to share that with you guys. We've got 110 grams of apple here, and then 125 grams of carbs from mini wheats, 15 grams of peanut butter, would usually be 20, but I've got a serving of almond milk in here, unsweetened almond milk, that has about 2.5 grams of fat, so that makes up my whole 10 grams of fat for the meal. So it's like 125 grams of carbs and 15 grams of carbs here. So that's about 140 grams of carbs in this meal. I believe that's the right. Yeah, I started to question myself. That's correct. So about 140 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat, 50 grams of protein. Got 2 meals left. I'll show you guys the treadmill here in a minute and the rest of my food for tonight. Well, this is take 2. I just recorded a video and this wasn't even on. I can't tell you how many times that's happened. I'm not so good at this YouTube thing, guys. This is why I'm not consistent. But anyways, we just got back from getting the treadmill, hoping it works. I don't know if it has the horsepower to work with my body weight or where my body weight's headed, because right now, you know, I'm like 293 waking up. By the evening, I'm like 296 with clothes on. I'm sure I'm 300 pounds, and the max capacity is 300 pounds. And I'm headed to like probably 310, 320 this off season. So we'll see how long it works for. But regardless, it's going to help me with steps during my day. And I was talking in the last video that didn't grab the microphone about efficiency. I'm not very efficient right now. In off season, I'm real sluggish and lethargic, and everything takes longer, and just sleepy all the time. It's just part of the game. But I need to be more efficient, so we got that treadmill so I can get steps in while I'm messaging my clients and stuff and working through the day, so I don't have to take lapses and breaks and walk Samson outside for 30 minutes and then come back to a bunch of messages on my phone and play catch up. So this is going to help me be much more efficient with my coaching clients and everything, getting stuff accomplished. But I was also talking about how I'm not as neurotic about cooking every meal on the stove right now. So this is just microwaved. You guys that have watched my YouTube videos for a long time, you know I like to cook like every meal on the stove when I'm in prep. Well, right now I'm just like throwing it in the microwave. Unless it's my last meal of the day, usually I'll cook it on the stove if I have time. But this is so good as it is, even just microwave. We got 320 grams of rice because Chris, like I said, guys, knocked my food down. So usually this would be 475 grams of rice, but it's a lot less now, which I'm not mad about. It's going to be easier to get down, less distended in my stomach, more mobile, less water retention, less carbs. Honestly, doesn't sound bad to me right now. So we got 320 rice, 175 grams of chicken from Cali Cooks. Then we've got 33 grams of avocado, about 50 grams of zucchini, then everything bagel seasoning on top. I get this salt-free everything bagel seasoning so I can still measure my salt, because most everything seasoning has extra salt. So then you're kind of like adding to your sodium. And then we got Flavor Gang, maple sriracha, and sweet poppy on top. Usually I would cook the maple sriracha in, like saute it with my meal in the pan. But it's a great combination to do it this way with the sweet poppy. So gonna eat this. And then also, you guys, I talked bad about this at first, but the orange vanilla Coke Zero is awesome. Brittany kept buying them at first. I was like, yeah, I'm not a fan. And then I give it another chance, and honestly, it is pretty good. You just can't leave it open for a while. It goes flat, and the orange tastes kind of weird. But also, Brittany does exist. She is in the house. She just doesn't like to be on video. So just so you guys know, when I'm telling you about my day, generally Brittany is in the majority of my day. But I respect her wishes to not be on every video. So she says thank you. I'm letting you guys into my comfort zone, into my life and what I do on a day-to-day when I do these YouTubes. But that doesn't mean Brittany has to. So she will when she feels like it. But I'm gonna go chill out, have this meal, and then I'll show you guys meal 6, and then it's bedtime. Got my last meal on the pan, but a lot of you guys have asked me about, on Instagram DMs and stuff, about sleeping, especially during prep. Sleep is generally really difficult for a lot of people in prep, myself included. And one of the biggest cheat codes for me has been the sleep stack that Brittany and I both take pretty much every night. When I'm in the off season, I don't need as much, so like it's hit or miss if I'll take the GABA or not. But basically, it's gonna be GABA. You can do a lot of this if you want to. It's gonna give you like a really, really sleepy feeling. This is gonna help you go to sleep. So we do 750 milligrams, but I've seen some sleep stacks that are like double or more than that. And then we got 5-HTP, 200 milligrams, 350 milligrams of magnesium glycinate. I do 5 milligrams of melatonin. You could do more. And then I do 1 or 2 caps of Descend. Tonight I'm just doing 1. So Descend, this I've noticed more than anything helps me stay asleep. So, you know, the other stuff in the sleep stack, I could take that in prep, and like I would get to sleep much better than I would without it. But then I would still have trouble staying asleep. So the big key for me in prep has been the Descend. So I know, you know, a lot of you guys are in prep right now. It's competition season. You're watching this, you're wishing you were eating all this food that I get to eat. But you need to sleep. If you're going to make it to your show in shape, sleep is when you burn a lot of fat. And if you're not resting enough, your body is not recovering, and you're just gonna dig a recovery hole and fatigue yourself out of being able to drop body fat and, you know, possibly muscle loss, whatever else. So make sure you're sleeping well. You guys, check out Descend if you're having trouble sleeping. Check out the rest of that sleep stack. That's just my makeshift one. There are plenty of companies out there that make great sleep products. But that's just the different ingredients that I use for my own. So cooking up the last meal, then we are off to bed after that. Final meal of the day, guys. This feels like such a small meal now, because with the huge rice meals and the sourdough, it was honestly really easy to put down. And now that we backed off to 320 grams of rice, it feels like such a baby amount. So I've got 87 grams of sourdough bread here. Honestly, I love the end pieces. They're so good. And we've got 190 grams of jasmine rice, 175 grams of Cali Cook's sirloin steak, super good. Some zucchini. I sauteed all of that with some red onions and Flavor Dawn sriracha maple sauce from Flavor Gang. So everything bagel seasoning, and then takeout sauce on the top. You guys have seen me do this meal like a million times. If you watch my YouTube, it never gets old. It's my favorite meal. Hopefully it never gets old. As of now, it doesn't. So I hope you guys enjoyed the full day of eating. I'll let you guys glance at Brittany for the final goodbye. Are you gonna wave?
I did.
Oh. Go, do you want to say something to the camera? Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys supporting. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe. I will be getting more videos out as soon as possible, doing more stuff this off season, have some fun with it, and keeping you guys in the loop on what I've got going on. So thank you for all the support, guys. You are awesome. We'll see you on the next one.